You said something you regret, maybe in the heat of the moment, or perhaps you let your guard down and shared more than you intended, or maybe someone else said something that stung, a comment that cut deeper than you expected, leaving you feeling exposed or misunderstood. The argument or awkward moment ended hours or even days ago, but your mind keeps replaying it, as if searching for a different outcome. You analyze every word, every pause, every shift in tone, dissecting the conversation from every possible angle. This mental loop is exhausting. It keeps you up at night, replaying the scene over and over, and distracts you during the day when you're trying to focus on other things. It can feel like you're trapped in your own mind, forced to watch the same scene on repeat, unable to escape the cycle. You just want it to stop, to find the off switch, but no matter what you do, the replay keeps coming back. The truth is, this is incredibly common. Almost everyone gets stuck in this cycle of rumination at some point, whether it's about a fight, a mistake, or an embarrassing moment. The good news? It's a normal function of your brain, not a sign of weakness or failure. You're not broken, and you're definitely not alone. Your brain is simply trying to process an event it's flagged as important, something it thinks you need to learn from or protect yourself against in the future. Understanding why this happens is the first step toward regaining control. When you know what's going on, you can start to respond differently. Each replay brings back the same anger, hurt, or embarrassment, making the experience emotionally draining and sometimes even physically exhausting. You're not just remembering the fight, you're reliving it, feeling the same emotions as if it's happening all over again. Why does your brain do this? The answer lies deep in its survival wiring. Your mind is built to pay extra attention to anything that feels threatening or unresolved. Your brain isn't trying to torture you, it's actually trying to keep you safe, to help you avoid similar pain in the future by learning from what happened. By understanding the neuroscience behind this mental replay, you can learn to work with your brain, not against it. You can start to notice the patterns and gently redirect your thoughts. You can acknowledge its signals without letting them take over your life. With practice, you can create space between yourself and the replay, finding new ways to respond. So, let's explore what's really happening inside your head, and discover how you can break free from the cycle of mental replay. If you find this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights on how your mind works, and how you can make it work for you. To understand why your brain obsesses over arguments, we have to go back in time. For our ancestors, social connection meant survival. Rejection could be fatal. Your brain evolved to be hypersensitive to social threats. The amygdala, your emotional sentinel, flags social conflict as a major threat. That's why a harsh word can feel as painful as a physical injury. Brain scans show social rejection activates the same pathways as physical pain. When you replay an argument, your amygdala is doing its job, making sure you pay attention to what could damage your relationships. The more important the relationship, the more intense the replay. This survival mechanism, once essential, now sometimes goes into overdrive. Your brain wants you to learn from the experience to avoid future threats. It's a protective instinct, even if it feels overwhelming. Ever notice your mind wanders the moment you stop focusing? That's your default mode network, or DMN, kicking in, your brain's idle setting. The DMN helps with creativity and self-reflection, but it also drifts toward unresolved problems. When your mind is at rest, the DMN replays emotionally charged memories, like that argument. This is why the replay often ambushes you when you're driving, showering, or trying to sleep. Staying busy can suppress the DMN, but as soon as your focus lapses, the replay returns. Your brain uses downtime to process what it thinks is urgent, even if it's painful. It's not a flaw, it's how your brain tries to make sense of your world. Another reason arguments stick is the Zeigarnik Effect, our tendency to remember unfinished business. An unresolved argument is the ultimate unfinished task for your brain. Without closure, your mind stays in suspense, replaying the scene to find a resolution. You obsess over what you could have said or done differently. Your brain keeps working on the problem, running endless simulations. But you can't change the past, so the cycle continues. The more important the issue, the stronger the mental tension. Unfinished business with loved ones or bosses feels especially heavy. These arguments aren't just memories, they're active problems your brain is desperate to solve. The Zeigarnik Effect keeps the loop alive until you find closure. That's why these memories are so persistent. While it feels like your brain is torturing you, its intention is protective. The replay loop is your brain's way of learning from social mistakes to prevent future pain. It's a mental training simulation, reviewing every detail to extract a lesson. Your brain wants to create new rules for future interactions. The emotional sting reinforces the lesson, making it hard to forget. Sometimes, though, there's no lesson to learn, and the loop becomes unhelpful. Understanding this protective intent can help you be kinder to yourself. Your brain isn't cruel, just a little overzealous in keeping you safe. Memories of arguments are vivid because of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These chemicals signal your brain to save the event in high definition. This process, called emotional memory consolidation, makes arguments unforgettable. The stress hormones act as memory glue, burning the details into your mind. When you replay the argument, you reactivate the emotional charge, sometimes triggering more stress. This creates a feedback loop. Replaying causes stress, which strengthens the memory. It's an evolutionary advantage, but in modern life, it can feel like a curse. The chemistry of stress keeps these memories alive and intense. Why do arguments replay more intensely at night? During the day, your prefrontal cortex, the brain's CEO, keeps the loop in check, but by bedtime, mental fatigue sets in, and your focus weakens. The default mode network takes over in the quiet, distraction-free dark. It pulls up unresolved issues, making them feel bigger and more urgent. With your rational brain tired, your emotional brain has more sway. Minor disagreements can feel catastrophic at 2 a.m. That's why problems seem insurmountable at night, but manageable in the morning. Sleep recharges your brain's ability to regain perspective. Nighttime replays are a product of brain chemistry and fatigue, not reality. Understanding why your brain replays arguments is empowering, but to truly break the cycle, you need practical, actionable tools. It's not enough to just know what's happening. You need steps you can actually use in the moment when your mind starts spinning. One of the simplest and most effective techniques is a brain dump. Grab a notebook or even your phone and write down everything you're thinking about the argument, every detail, every feeling, every worry. Don't censor yourself, just let it all out onto the page. This process externalizes the problem, taking it out of your head and putting it somewhere you can see it. You'll often notice your mental tension start to ease as you write, and your thoughts may even begin to slow down. Next, create a mental closing statement. Ask yourself, what's the key lesson here? Is there a small action you can take, or a boundary you want to set? Write down a plan or a resolution, even if it's just a single sentence. This step gives your brain a sense of completion, which is crucial for satisfying its need for closure. It's like telling your mind, we've dealt with this for now. Afterward, engage in activities that require your full attention, like working on a puzzle, reading a captivating book, or listening to music that you love. These activities help shift your brain out of replay mode by giving it something new and absorbing to focus on. Remember, mindless distractions like scrolling your phone rarely work for long. Instead, choose something that's mentally engaging. And don't forget to practice mindfulness and self-compassion as you go. When you notice the mental loop starting again, pause and acknowledge it without judgment. You might say to yourself, there's that argument again. My brain is just trying to protect me, and that's okay. Then, gently redirect your attention to your breath or to sensations in your body. Feel your feet on the floor, notice your breathing, or do a quick body scan. This practice trains your brain not to get swept away by the memory, but to observe it from a distance, like watching clouds pass by in the sky. With regular practice, you'll find you can observe your thoughts without getting caught up in them. You become the observer, not the participant. Over time, these skills can bring real peace and freedom from the endless replay, helping you reclaim your mental space and emotional balance. Replaying arguments in your mind isn't a personal failing, it's a deeply human experience that almost everyone shares at some point. If you've ever found yourself stuck in a loop, going over what you said or what you wish you'd said, know that you're not alone. This pattern is your ancient brain, trying to protect you in a complex, ever-changing social world. Our brains evolved to help us navigate relationships and avoid danger, so they're always on the lookout for threats, even if those threats are just awkward conversations or misunderstandings. The amygdala, the default mode network, stress hormones, and the Zeigarnik Effect all play a role in keeping these thoughts alive. Your brain is wired to remember unfinished business and emotional moments, making it hard to simply let go. Every part of this mental loop is rooted in your brain's drive to keep you safe, connected, and prepared for future interactions. It's a survival mechanism, not a flaw. When you understand the neuroscience behind these patterns, you can start to change your relationship with your thoughts. Knowledge gives you the power to respond with awareness instead of frustration. You can feel compassion for your hardworking brain instead of blaming yourself. This shift in perspective is the first step toward healing and peace. Use writing, focused activities, and mindfulness to gently guide your mind toward calm. Creative outlets and mindful practices help your brain process and release what it's holding onto. Don't fight your brain. Work with it. Accept that these thoughts are natural, and gently redirect your attention when you notice them. Acknowledge the alarm bell in your mind without letting it take over your day. You can notice the signal, thank your brain for its effort, and then choose to move forward. Remember, peace comes from knowing how to respond to your thoughts, not from never having negative ones. It's about building resilience and self-understanding. The next time you're stuck in a replay loop, pause and take a deep breath. Give yourself a moment of kindness. Remind yourself what's happening in your brain, and know that you have the power to choose a different path forward. With this knowledge, you can reclaim your mental space, nurture your well-being, and find true peace within yourself. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights on the brain and well-being. Thanks for watching, and take care.